Okay.
Yes, sir.
Sure.
Now it's important.
The thin rod of length of your L placed along x-axis, placed along x-axis with its one end at origin, one end at your origin, and having linear mass density. LMD is linear mass density. Lambda is equals to lambda naught into x square, where lambda naught is equals to constant beta. X is the distance from origin. X is equals to distance from origin. X is equals to distance from origin. Then locate position of center of mass of rod. Good question, beta. First, try to draw the diagram as per your understanding in this one. We got a thin rod of length L, which is being
Yes,
placed
sir.
along
On
x-axis with its
Yes, sir.
one end and origin, and having the linear mass density lambda is equals to lambda naught into your x square, where lambda naught is a constant, x is a distance from the origin. Then locate the center of mass. ఇది యాక్సెస్ అనుకుందాం, ఇది y axis, ఇది వచ్చేసి x axis. We are keeping the rod on this one like this. One end is at the origin like this. అంతే కదా?
Yes, sir.
So this is at your origin. This is a total rod right now. We need to calculate the center of mass. How do you calculate the center of mass for the linear bodies, beta? We need to take one small element in this one, beta, from a distance of your x. అంతే కదా? So we
Yes,
need to
sir.
take one small element in this one like this. Of width how much? Dx. Origin nunchi distance enta? X. Total length of this rod is how much? L.
Yes.
Okay. Then what is asking? Locate the center of mass. How do you calculate the center of mass for this one? XCM is equals to continuous bodies ki integration cheyala. XCM is equals to your integral of your dm into your x divided by your integral of your dm. Length is 0 to L. This one is also 0 to your L. Now how do you write the dm, beta? Cut at mass by original mass. Here this one. Cut at mass by your original mass is equals to cut at length by your original length L. So it is dm is equals to m by your L into dx. Mass per unit length is known as what? Linear mass density. Ante dm will be equal to your lambda into your dx. Then
Yes.
now simplify this one. XCM is equals to your XCM is equals to integral of your dm is nothing but equal to how much? Lambda. Lambda value enta chandana? Lambda naught
Lambda
into
naught into x square.
x square into your dx. Limits are 0 to your L divided by dm. Dm is again integral of your lambda naught square. Lambda naught square.
No, sir. Lambda naught into x
Lambda
square.
naught x square into your dx. Limits are 0 to your L. Okay, na?
Yes, sir.
This is dm. Dm is lambda is lambda naught into your x. Lambda naught into x into dx. ఇది x కూడా వస్తుంది కదా ఇక్కడ. ఈ x ఉంది కదా మళ్ళా. So this
Yes.
is, isn't it? So is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Chalo. Now integrate this one. XCM is equals to what is constant in this one, but lambda naught is a constant, so this will go cancel. x square into x is how much? X cube. This is integral of your x cube into your dx. Limit is 0 to your L divided by. This one is lambda not cancelled. It is integral of your x square into your dx. Limit is 0 to your L. Now simplify this one.
Yes.
Integral of x cube into dx is how much better? Integral of x cube into dx is how much? Formula integral of x to the power of n into dx is equals to x n plus 1 divided by n plus 1.
Yeah.
ఇక్కడ integral of x cube into dx కాబట్టి this is x 3 plus 1 divided by your 3 plus 1. And this will become for me how much? Substituting the upper limit and lower limit will get L to the power of 4 into your how much? Integration కదా?
Yes,
అంతేనా?
sir.
This one is how much for me? Divided by your 4. అంతే కదా?
Yes, sir.
Divided by 4. Integral of x square into dx is how much better? Substituting the limit will be getting L cube. అవునా కదా? Divided by 3. 3 అంటే పైకి వెళ్ళిపోతుంది. ఈ L cube లో ఇది వెళ్ళిపోతుంది. So the answer is how much for me? 3L divided by 4. So xcm is equals to how much for me? Center of mass of this one is 4. Center of mass is only along x-axis కాబట్టి this is 3L by 4 comma y-axis లో లేదు 0.
0, yes.
Clear? Only thing is
Yes,
little bit of integration you need to take care. That's it there.
yes.
Okay na? Achha. మాస్ రిమూవ్ పార్ట్ అవన్నీ చేపించారా?
Yes, sir. అప్పుడు చెప్పాను కదా సార్ రిమూవింగ్ లైక్ వెన్ వి
Okay, fine. See this one below. A square of side D. A square of side D and circular disc and your circular disc of diameter D. Diameter D. Both having same thickness. Both having same thickness. Same thickness. Placed in contact. Placed in contact such that both lie in same plane. Both of them will lie in your same plane. Find distance of center of mass. Find distance of center of mass from A. Okay.
yes.
See the question once again. We got a square of side how much for me? D. And a circular disc of diameter how much? D. Having the same thickness. Rounded key thickness is given as of your same. Placed in contact such that both lie in the same plane. Find the distance of your center of mass. And this is given like this. This is your square of distance how much? D. So obviously this is also your D. And here it is in contact with this one. This is given as C1. This is given as C2. Okay. This one is of your point A. Okay. This is C2. This distance is also equal to D thickness. Is it clear?
Yes, sir. And thickness is
Now, tell me the mass of this one, M1. Mass M1 is equals to Mass is equals to how much? Mass is equals to volume into density. Volume is equals to area into thickness into rho. Thickness will be equal to pi. Area will be equal to pi. Distance, radius will be equal to your d by 2 whole square into thickness t into rho. So this is the mass m1. Isn't it clear?
Yes, sir.
Area is equals to pi into r square. Radius of this one is from here to here. Na? So this radius
Yes,
is
sir.
d. Now for square sheet. For square sheet. For square sheet, mass will be equal to how much? M2. M2 is equals to, mass is equals to volume into thickness into density. Area will be equal to how much for this square beta? Length into breadth. Ante d square. Ante kada?
Yes, sir.
Area of this one. So area of this one, thickness is nothing but same t into your rho. Okay, na?
Yes, sir.
Mass is equals to volume into density. Volume is equals to area into thickness. Area is d square. Thickness is nothing but of your t part affiliation. Isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So from A, if I'm talking about the center of mass beta, this one is in positive x-axis, this one is in your negative x-axis. Ante kada? This one, if I'm
Yes,
taking
sir.
origin, this
Yes,
one
sir.
is
Yes.
positive, this one is your
Square is
negative.
negative. Yes.
Yeah. So I can write for this one, position of center of mass. RCM will be equal to your M1 R1 plus of your M2 into R2 divided by your M1 plus of your M2. So M1 already ఎంత వచ్చింది మనకు pi into d square divided by your 4 into thickness. Thickness ఎంత అవుతుందన్న? Density will get cancelled. Thickness I can write in terms of your d కదా. So this will become for me how much? D by 2.
Yes, sir.
Radius, distance. This is your mass. Mass is equals to this one. Thickness and rho will get cancelled. I'm not writing that term. ఎందుకంటే t and rho are common for both m1 and m2. Anyhow, that will get cancelled. R1 will be equal to how much for me? D by 2. అంతే కదా?
Yes, sir.
R అంటే this one. This one is
Yes,
your
sir.
R1. This one is your R2.
R.
R2 will be how much? Negative. అంతే కదా? So
Yes,
this
sir.
one is
Because
of
of the
your
negative.
minus. This one is your d square into this one is your d by 2. Minus కాబట్టి ఇక్కడ మైనస్ రాసుకున్నాను.
Yes.
Divided by total mass. This one is pi into d square divided by 4 plus of your d square. I hope you got it clear beta. This thickness and rho is same కాబట్టి దీన్ని
Yes, sir.
రాసిన
We're getting cancelled. Yes, sir. We'll get cancelled anyways.
Okay. Now from inference I can write from this one. Is that anything gets cancelling there, you see? So this one is your d square, this one is d square, and this one is your d square. So
Sir, one more d square.
na? So this one is d square, na? This one is also d square, and this one is also d square. Because
Yes,
I can
sir.
take your d square out,
Yes, sir.
isn't it? So this one is also getting cancelled, d square. Because if
Yes.
I take d square out, that is also getting cancelled. So RCM will become for me pi by 4 minus 1 into your d by 2 divided by this one is pi by 4 plus 1. This value is lesser than 0 beta. RCM value. ఎందుకంటే ఇది నెగటివ్ వచ్చింది కదా.
Yes,
So
sir.
RCM value will be lesser than 0. అంటే lesser than of your origin. That means center of mass will lie in the square. Center of mass lies in square. అంతే కదా. We are getting the answer in terms
Yes,
of
sir.
negative. So it is lesser than of your 0 కాబట్టి. So center of mass will lie in your square part of relation. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Chalo, very good. One more question. From uniform circular disc, from your uniform circular disc of radius capital R, of radius capital R, is circular position of radius small r, in the bracket small r is lesser than of your r by 2, such that the maximum shift in center of mass, then such that the maximum shift in center of mass is how much? Then find shift in center of mass. Then find shift in center of mass. So read the question carefully first. From a uniform circular disc, అంటే మన దగ్గర ఒక యూనిఫామ్ సర్క్యులర్ డిస్క్ ఉంది ఇట్లా. Okay, so from this uniform circular disc, this is the center, so this will be the radius, so this will be also the radius. So this one is origin 0, 0. Okay, so from a uniform circular disc of radius capital R, is the radius and the capital R, a circular position of radius small r, where small r is lesser than r by 2, such that there is a maximum shift in the center of mass, and it is cut at something like this. It is touching the periphery and going like this. This is the circular disc, and for this one, this is the R. Okay, so if this is your R, obviously this distance will be equal to how much? Capital R minus small r. Ante kada?
Yes, sir.
You are removing this part right now here, isn't it? So when you are removing part, we always use the minus sign. Okay, so how do you calculate the shift? Now today, ఇది తీయకముందు center of mass ఇక్కడ ఉండే, ఇది తీసిన తర్వాత, this part తీసిన తర్వాత, there is a shift in the center of mass. So how much is the shift in the center of mass part affiliation? Now can you tell me where it will shift beta? ఈ part తీసేసాం కాబట్టి now more mass is here, that means it will try to slightly shift in the backward direction. ఇక్కడ ఎక్కడో వచ్చేస్తుంది, ఎందుకని ఇక్కడ మాస్ ఎక్కువ ఉంది కదా, ఇక్కడ ఈ పార్ట్ తీసేసాం. సో ఏమైపోతుంది, బ్యాలెన్స్ చేసుకోవడానికి సెంటర్ ఆఫ్ మాస్ ఇక్కడ నుంచి ఇక్కడికి షిఫ్ట్ అయిపోతాం. అర్థమైందా?
Yes, sir.
Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
ఈరోజు కాలేజ్ ఉందా? భారత్ బంద్ కదా?
ఉంది సార్.
ఓకే, చలో.
ఎందుకు సార్ భారత్ బంద్?
భారత్ బంద్ ఉంది కదా ఈరోజు.
ఓకే, ఆ ఫార్మర్స్ దాని గురించి.
ఫార్మర్స్. చలో, ఎక్స్సిఎం క్యాలిక్యులేట్ చేయాలి. ఎక్స్సిఎం is equals to m1 x1, you are removing కాబట్టి మైనస్ m2 x2 divided by this one is m1 minus of your m2. m1 is what beta? Total mass. m1 is your total mass. m2 is your removed mass. m2 is your removed mass. So for disk, if I am talking about, mass will be equal to, mass is equals to volume into density. Volume is equals to area into thickness into rho. So m1 will be equal to how much? Pi into r square. In your malla thickness and rho will get cancelled because it is made up of same material kabatti. m2 will be equal to pi into small r square. Okay, దీని center of mass ఎక్కడ ఉంది? 0, 0. దీని center of mass ఎక్కడ ఉంటుంది? capital R minus small r, y axis is 0. ఈ పార్ట్ అర్థమైంది కదా? m1 కి ఎట్ ఆరిజిన్ ఉండే, m1 is at your origin.
Yes, sir,
so
yes.
m1 is 0, 0.
Yes.
This one is shifted by x r minus r, y axis దీనికి లేదు. So
Yes, sir.
m1 we got right now, we got the value of your m2 part of relation. Now calculate the value of your xcm. That's it. xcm is equals to your x center of mass is equals to x1 ఎంత నాన్న? ఇది x1 కదా, ఇది y1, ఇది x2, ఇది y2. Okay, so mass of this one is m1 రాసుకుంటున్నాను into ఇది x1 కదా, x1 is 0, x1 is your
Yes,
0 minus m2 is nothing but pi into your r square into r2 is capital R minus small r divided by this one is pi into capital R square minus pi into small r square.
Yes,
Is anything getting cancelled? You see, this pi will get cancelled. So HCM is coming out to be x center of mass is equals to, ఇది మొత్తం 0 కాబట్టి minus of your r square into capital R minus small r divided by this one is your capital R square minus of your r square. ఓకేనా? ఇది ఇంకా నేను సింప్లిఫై చేసుకోవచ్చా? How do you write this one? Can you? XCM is equals to, this one is minus of r square into capital R minus small r divided by, this will become how much for me? Capital R plus of your small r into capital R
Yes,
minus
sir.
of,
Now we can cancel.
it gets cancelled. So XCM will be equal to how much for me? So shift in the center of mass is minus వచ్చింది answer. So it is minus of r square divided
Yes.
by capital R plus of your small r. So this is the shift in the center of mass. Shift is negative kabatti, it is going in which direction beta? See, negative వచ్చింది kabatti this will be the shift. So this will be x shift. So it is shifted. So I can write this one as of your x shift also. అర్థమైందా?
Yes, sir.
క్లియరా?
Yes, sir.
చలో, షిఫ్టింగ్ అంతేనా, ఇంకేం లేదు పెద్దగా. ఓన్లీ థింగ్ ఈజ్ యూ నీడ్ టు నో ది ఏరియాస్ అండ్ మాసెస్ అండ్ వాల్యూమ్స్ అంతే. ఇంకోటి చూడు, ఫ్రమ్ ఏ స్పియర్ of radius capital R, a spherical portion, of diameter R, capital R is cut such that shift is maximum. Then find the distance of new center of mass, from the center of big sphere. Okay, so read the question once again. We got a sphere, from a sphere, that means like this one is your sphere. This is having the mass throughout the body beta, sphere అన్నప్పుడు. Okay, and this is having a radius from here to here. This is your radius capital R. Now see, from a sphere of radius capital R, a spherical position of diameter R, of your R part of a relation. అంటే ఎక్కడ నుంచి ఎక్కడ వరకు అయితే చెప్పు సార్. From a sphere of radius capital R, a spherical portion of diameter capital R is being cut such that the shift is maximum. That means the diameter is this one.
Okay. Sir, but
this is the diameter.
okay. That's the diameter. Okay. For
Okay.
this,
So for this one, radius will become for me R by 2. The diameter is also given as capital R. Okay. This part is removed. Okay. So this part is removed. Okay. Now, same like previous case. First calculate the mass. Mass M1 before cutting. 4/3 pi into capital R cube into density. Mass is equals to volume into density. And then M2. M2 is also same. Mass is equals to 4/3 volume. Radius will become for me R by 2 whole cube into density rho. Ante this will become for me R cube kada. Antena?
Yes, sir.
So 4/3 pi into your from a sphere of radius capital R, a spherical portion of your diameter capital R. ఇదంతా వస్తుంది చూడు. So this one is 4/3 pi into this one is R
R cube by 8.
8 into your rho.
Yes.
చలో అదే రాశాం కదా. So from a sphere of radius capital R, a spherical portion of diameter R is been cut such that the shift is maximum. Then find the distance of the new center of mass of the mass from this center of your big sphere. So we got mass m1, we got mass m2. So xcm is how much? Xcm is equals to this one is your m1 x1, this one is minus m2 into your x2 divided by removed కాబట్టి this one is m1 minus of your m2 అంతేనా?
Yes, sir.
ప్రీవియస్ కూడా అదే చేసాం కదా.
Yes, sir. Shift because it's shift.
Okay, now just substitute the values. This will be equal to your 4/3 pi into your r cube into density rho. ఇది origin కాడ ఉంటుంది first, minus next one is nothing but how much for me? 4/3 pi r cube. This one is 4/3 pi into your r cube divided by 8 into your rho into distance. Distance ఎంతనన్నా r/2 x2 అంతే కదా.
Yes, sir.
x1 is origin, x1 is 0, x2 will be equal to your r/2. So this will be equal to 4/3 pi into your r cube into your rho. Mass is equals to volume into density minus this one is 4/3 pi into this one is your r cube divided by your 8 into your rho. Avuna?
Yes.
So anything is getting cancelled, you see in this one. In this one 4/3 pi, 4/3 pi, 4/3 pi. Antena? R
Yes.
cube also is getting cancelled. So this one is r cube,
Sir, r
this
cube
one
by
is
8.
r
So
cube.
that whole r cube by 8 will get cancelled.
By ఇక్కడ రాదు కదా మళ్ళా.
Okay, okay, yes, sir.
Isn't it? So this will become how much for me right now?
Sir, rho can we cancel, sir?
Yeah, rho also will get cancelled. So this will become minus of your, this one is how much for me? R divided by 8 to the 16. అంతేనా?
Yes, sir.
Divided by this one is how much? ఇది మొత్తం క్యాన్సిల్ అయిపోయింది కదా. ఇక్కడ ఎంత ఉంది? ఇది
0
minus 1/8 కదా.
ఇక్కడ 8, yes, sir. Minus 1/8.
1 minus 1/8. So how much you are getting? 1 minus 1/8 ఎంత చూడు?
7/8.
So that will be equal to 7/8. And this one is minus of r by 16 into this one is your 7/8. And the pike వెళ్ళిపోతే this one is r by 16 into this one is
8/7.
8 ones are 8 twos are. So
Yes.
xcm will become how much?
Minus
Minus
r
of
by
your r by 14. Okay,
yes, sir.
clear?
Yes, sir. So shift we have to just change the formula into minus because there is a
Yeah, just use this relation better. You don't remember the shortcut formulas given in materials.
okay.
You can't remember it for a long time. That's a
Yes.
problem. If you remember the basic method now, you can calculate for any body.
Okay,
Okay,
sir. Yes.
anyhow మీ మెటీరియల్ మీకు షార్ట్ కట్స్ కూడా ఇచ్చాడు. యూ కెన్ జస్ట్ రిఫర్ ఇట్ బేసికల్ గా. చాలా నీట్ గా అన్ని కండిషన్స్ రాసి డిరైవ్ చేసి పెట్టాడు. బట్ వీఆర్ జస్ట్ యూజింగ్ ఇట్ విత్ ద బేసిక్ ఫార్ములా ఉంది బేసికల్. ఓకేనా?
Yes, sir.
We'll try to do one more question. We got a uniform square sheet. Uniform square sheet of side side A divided into 4 quadrants, divided into your 4 quadrants. Then find shift in the center of mass. Shift in its center of mass. Shift in its center of mass. Number A, if one of your quadrants removed. Number B, if a circular portion of maximum diameter removed from quadrant. Okay, so first read the question carefully. We got a uniform square sheet. This one. Okay, of side how much for me? A. From here to here, this distance is your A. This distance is also your A. Okay, so uniform
Yes.
square sheet of side A divided into 4 quadrants. Then find the shift in the center of mass. Shift in the center of mass of maximum if one of the quadrant is removed. Been removed part of relation. Okay na? Chalo. Let us say suppose I am removing this quadrant. Any one quadrant I am removing it. Okay, so if I am removing this quadrant, now center of mass of this removed part will be ikkade kada. So
Yes.
all the sides are same kabatti this will become for me a by 2 root 2. This one is your a by 2 root 2. Okay, ఎలా వచ్చింది ఇది angle 45 కదా నాన్న ఈ సైడ్ ఎంత this one is also your a, so this one is your a by 2, isn't it?
Yes.
Angle is 45, isn't it? So from this one is simplified, this distance in a square from center to this point will be equal to your a by your 2 root 2. So mass of the chepna mass of the first one before removing enta a square. Mass of removed part a2 will be equal to how much for me? Mass of the square plate whatever you are removing, so that will be equal to how much for me? A square divided by enta avutundi chudu a divided by 4 ante kada din square is. So now we need to calculate the shift. So first one, if I am calculating shift in the center of mass, delta x is equals to m1 x1 minus of your m2 into your x2 divided by this one is m1 minus of your m2. Initially the center of mass of the system before removing it is at 0, 0. Ante x1 is equals to 0 and x2 will be equal to a by your 2 root 2. So m1 is how much for me? Or a square into x1 is 0 minus m2. M2 is a square divided by 4 into x2. X2 is a by your 2 root 2 divided by m1 minus m2. That is a square minus of your a square divided by 4. Antena?
Yes.
So now if I simplify this one, this is anyhow 0. This a square, this a square, this a square will get cancelled. So this will become for me minus of your. So this will become for me a by 4 into 2, 8. It is 8 root 2 divided by 1 minus 1 by 4. Enta?
3 by 4.
Antena? So this is will be equal to how much? Minus of your a by 8 into root 2 into 4 by your 3. 4 ones are 4 twos are. And this will become for me minus of your a divided by 2 into 3, 6. So it will be your 6 root 2. So this will be your x shift.
Yes.
మైనస్ వచ్చిందంటే ఎక్కడ వచ్చిందని అర్థం కింద కదా ఎందుకంటే ఇక్కడ మాస్ ఎక్కువ, ఎక్కడైతే మాస్ ఎక్కువ ఉంటుందో అక్కడ షిఫ్ట్ అవుతుంది. సో సెంటర్ ఆఫ్ మాస్ విల్ షిఫ్ట్ టు సమ్వేర్ హియర్ రైట్ నౌ. సో దిస్ ఈస్ యువర్ ఎక్స్ షిఫ్ట్. ఓకేనా? That is the relation. Second one, Jude, if a circular portion of maximum diameter is removed from the quadrant, దీంట్లోంచి if I am moving right now, removing the circular quadrant. So number B. రికార్డింగ్ అవుతుందా?
సార్
This much part is removed. Okay na?
yes.
Chudu. Now see the question, what is asking? If a circular portion of maximum diameter is removed from the quadrant, ఈ క్వాడ్రంట్ నుంచి మాక్సిమం డయామీటర్ తీసాం. అంటే ఇక్కడ నుంచి ఇక్కడ వరకు ఈ డిస్టెన్స్ ఎంత నాన్న? డయామీటర్ అంతా ఇది మొత్తం ఏ, ఇది a/2. This one is your a/2 and this center will be ready.